Hi guys. Well, I had a nice surprise come in the post the other day. I suppose it shouldn't really have been a surprise. I was the one who ordered it, but I wasn't expecting it quite as soon as it had turned up. I hadn't even realised it had been released, to be honest. And this is what it was. The Nvidia Shield TV. I got the 500 gig version. I thought it would be handy to have the extra capacity. I'll give you a quick run through of the specs. Let's see if we can zoom into that. See if you guys can, excuse me. See if you guys can read those as well. So we've got a Tegra X1 processor. It's a 256 core Nvidia processor, and it's a 64-bit. It's got 3 gig of RAM. It's Android TV and Google Cast ready. It's got HDMI 2.0 and 4K Ultra HD with 10-bit colour. It includes a micro SD card, which is handy. Even though I've got the bigger capacity, it's useful to have an SD card as well. It has 802.11ac dual band Wi-Fi and gigabit Ethernet, which is what I'll be using. 2 USB 3 and 1 micro USB 2 ports. And it handles Dolby 7.1 and 5.1 surround sound pass-through. Right, so that's the specs. Let's see what's inside. Let's pull that out a bit. Oh. There you go. I've already taken the tabs off because I started an unboxing the other day, and unfortunately my sister rang, so I had to stop in the middle. Right, so let's get this lid off, and there you go. You can see the actual shield itself. It's my phone going again there, did you hear that? You can see some fingerprints on there. I think that's going to be a bit of a fingerprint magnet. Still got the plastic on there at the moment, but I think the shiny bit underneath is probably going to attract fingerprints as well, just like the PS4 does. But I tell you what, that has got some heft to it. That's got some decent weight. It feels really well made, and I don't know if you can see the angular effect. It looks really nice. Really does look nice. Underneath, on this side, we have a brushed, don't know if you can quite see that, a brushed metal effect. And that's quite nice as well. Under there, can you make that out? We've got the intake for the air. And then on the back, we have, there you go, we have the output. That's where the air blows out. So hopefully it should stay quite cool. It's got a mobile processor. The Tegra X1 is a mobile processor basically, so it should remain nice and cool hopefully. Anyway, while we're on the back, let's have a look at what else is in there. So as mentioned before, it's got a micro SD card slot. Let's get that a bit closer so you can see that. Micro SD, and then that one there is the micro USB. Then we've got the 2 USB 3 ports, and then the gigabit Ethernet, which as I say I'll be using, and then HDMI and the power. Now where the HDMI is concerned, I do wish they would put in 2 HDMI leads, 2 HDMI connectors, because I've got a legacy amp which won't take 4K. So I'm going to have to sort out some sort of splitter or something, or end up buying a new amp in the long run, because otherwise I'm not going to get 4K to my TV, which is a bit of a pain. And if they would take a leaf out of Oppo's book and provide 2 HDMIs, one where you could split off the sound only and send it to a amp, that would be very handy. But hey, it's a minor quibble. Caused me a bit of hassle, but well, I'm used to that. Anything to do with AV which is primarily what I'm going to be using this for. I know it's a games console as well, but I'm primarily going to be using it for 4K, Netflix and stuff like that, although I will have a look at the games. And specifically, I think it's going to be pretty good for things like emulation. So hopefully in the future I might do a little review of all those things if I get the time. So stay tuned. Obviously the power on, we'll look at that once I get the thing plumbed in and get it working. I'll show you how it works, hopefully. But anyway, that's the item for now. Like I say, it has got some heft. It's a decent bit of kit by the looks of it, very well made. There's the little manual that comes with it. Not much to see, to be honest. A little quick start guide, can you see that? Just telling you what's in the box and so on and so forth. And then underneath here we have, firstly, the controller. Now, this is okay, it's a little bit spongy, but I think very functional. The thumbsticks feel great, actually. They feel really good. They feel very much like the 360 thumbsticks, and that's no bad thing in my book, because I think the 360 thumbsticks are actually superior, for me anyway, to the Xbox One thumbsticks. The buttons, again, they're slightly different shape, but they also feel very much like the Xbox 360 ones. They've got the click as well, just like the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation, and so on. And oh, obviously the layout is very much like the PS4 with the thumbsticks. And actually they're far enough apart, might be an issue for me. I've got quite big fingers touching like they do with the PS4, but I don't think that's going to be a big issue. It feels really nice in the hand, it's got a real comfortable feel to it. The triggers, yeah, they're not too bad. I'd like them to have a little bit more play, I think, personally, but they feel okay. I think they're going to be alright. And yeah, they feel alright. They're a little bit spongy for my liking. I'd like them to be a bit more of a clean, clicky feel, but yeah, I think that's a pretty decent controller. It feels well made, just like the console itself. So yeah, there's a few other things on there that I'll go through hopefully if I do a review when it's in use. But for the time being, that's the controller. Oh, one other thing I must mention. On here you've got a microphone jack, and obviously that's the charging port there, which plugs into USB. And then we have an HDMI lead. You can see that's actually labelled HDMI. And it's all falling apart, unfortunately. But that's very well packaged when it first arrives. I have had it out already, so that's why it's coming loose. My fault, not Nvidia's. And that's the USB. That'll be used for charging the controller. If you look on here, again, nice attention to detail. It's got a little controller on there. That and the standard USB connector will go to the console, and that end there will go to the controller. That's a nice little touch. Little green icons on there. Quite like that. I do like attention to detail with these things. I get rather annoyed when companies don't pay attention to detail. And talking of which, I'm quite impressed by this. If you look at this, we're getting onto the power supply now. That is, I believe, a US power connector. And that is the UK power connector, which is what I'll be using. And that one is, I believe, the European one. I think they're the ones I've used while I've been in Europe. Anyway, and the power supply itself, did a little thing, not too big. There's the connector that goes to the console, and that plugs directly into the wall once you've got one of those clipped onto it. and you can put different ones on. So if you're in different regions, that's going to be very handy. If you travel a bit, or you happen to be one of those lucky people with enough money to spend time in, I don't know, Europe and the UK, or Europe and the States, or whatever. But anyway, I like that. It's not really going to be much use to me, but I do like it being there like that. Put those back in. And that pretty much is it until we get to the actual use of the thing. But I like the packaging, I like the layout, apart from, like I said, I'd like to see another HDMI connector. But yeah, I think Nvidia are onto a bit of a winner here. I'm not sure how well it'll compete with the Xbox One and the PS4, but yeah, I think I'm going to like this. We'll soon see. Alright, that's me done for now. I'll speak to you guys again soon. Bye.